Own Way, the podcast with me, your host, Corey McClurg.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Get Out of Your Own Way, the podcast. I'm Corey McClurg, author of the best-selling book, Get Out of Your Own Way. So today I want to talk about the power of connection. So often I find that, we sort of forge out into making changes and, we often kind of treat ourselves, like an island out in the middle of the ocean. And really that's really contrary to our nature as humans and sort of how, we evolved. The proverbial lone wolf, 10,000 years ago, wouldn't have made it very long. We would have been in our survival was completely dependent upon our whole group, our tribe. Anthropologists have a pretty clear thesis about how we would have been a part of these communities, these tribes of about 150, certainly no more than 175 to 200 people, and we each had an important role to play in those groups. So, and it was important, right? I mean, people had jobs of gathering food. People had jobs of building shelter. People had the jobs of caring for children. Everybody had their role. And so that connection and being an integral part of a community was just so important. And that would have persisted for the majority of our evolution. It's only been in the last, couple, 300, even up to 500 years potentially, which is still a nit period of time when compared to, 2 million years of human evolution. So being in community and having connection with others is important. It's something that we've always experienced, and it's only until very recently that we haven't experienced it. So, and you hear the reports every day that loneliness is at a all-time high. There's more people that report loneliness now than ever since the data has been being collected. So it's a very real phenomenon, and I think we have to be treated as a serious thing. It's a very unique situation, and so in addition to just our overall mental health, it's going to be really important whenever you're trying to change your behavior or your mental state in general. I'll say that to in the hopes that the effect is that you are changing your behavior. So what I really want to urge you to do when you're trying to change your behavior is go find people, right, that also value the thing that you value. So if it's just overall health and well-being, and preserving, right, your faculties as you age, go find those people. There's lots of people in the whole food community that absolutely that participate, that enjoy interacting with people, that enjoy supporting people. There's tons of Facebook groups, and even, finding YouTube videos and stuff that are in support of what it is that you're trying to change. And one of the reasons I think that connection and community is so important is that we affirm each other, right? We, and often, sadly, it's the kind of affirmation that we forget to give ourselves. We go out, I was just talking to somebody this morning. We go out and, we start making changes, and we sort of, and I'll say first, raise my hand first and foremost. I used to be so terrible at this. I go out and start making changes, and I would do, even when I was doing well, and I would sort of treat it well, this isn't very impressive because I should have been doing this all along. It was almost like I did something well, I achieved something, but it was never good enough, right? It was always like, oh, well, I should have already had this figured out. When in fact, it is a positive. It's a move in the positive direction. And why would you expect that you should have already had this, done, figured out? There were a whole bunch of factors working against you. So the fact that you achieved any level of success, that is something to be celebrated. So connection with ourselves is important also in this process. Connection with the fact that we're not going to let this negative shit run in our brain anymore. Connection with we are, worthy of acknowledgement and affirmation, that we get to give that to ourselves. One of the exercises that I love to do with people is, if you think about the running monologue in your head and, pick out a couple of the particularly, negative rants, and just think about what you've actually said to yourself. Like, I guarantee you wouldn't say that probably to your worst enemy. Like, you would never say that out loud to somebody else. Even if you freaking hated them, you wouldn't say that. So you got to keep that in check, right? You can't let that run rampant in your head without it going unnoticed. Now, don't double down on it and start shaming yourself for having the negative thoughts. It's a natural thing, right? There's a whole bunch of factors that set you up to be how you are right now, none of which had anything to do with you. So let's just drop the shame and blame. Let's give ourselves a little affirmation when we've done something in the direction that we want for the change that we're pursuing. And then also, there's going to be times then that it's hard to keep doing that for ourselves. There's days that you're going to have a bad day. So go find community now when you're not having a bad day, so it's all set up, and so you can form connections and you can help each other. You can encourage each other. You can give each other ideas, and just know also that you're not alone. You're not an island out there in the middle of the ocean. There's plenty of other people that share your values. So go find them. Go find those people and, be involved in that. So often, again, I used to think, oh, I don't need that. I don't need to do a bunch of rah-rah with, these strangers on the internet. And that's bullshit. You do need it. We all need it. We all need connection. We all need to find people who share our values, people that care about each other, people that will celebrate your success, that are happy for you when you, went 2 days and ate, more fruits and vegetables than you ever have in your entire life. Those are the connections that you need, and need whether you realize it or not. So, and some of this, look, I'll be the first to admit, some of this is going to be hard. If you're not, it's going to feel awkward. If you're not used to like establishing connection with people, and you tend to think that, you can do this on your own, it's going to be awkward. But I'm telling you, it's so worth it to at least try, right? To if you got to pretend for a little while, do that. If you got to use some ladder thinking, right? Like, you're not going to turn it around in a day to go from like, hey, I'm super introverted and awkward, to like, oh, I'm such an extrovert and I love, being around people and making connection and all of that. That's not going to happen, right? It may not happen at all, but it's certainly not going to happen in a day. So, but the more you do it and the more you're genuine about it and the more you're authentic in like, trying to understand where people are coming from and just being really curious about, your own reactions to it. Like, why is this making me feel weird? Like maybe I just never got this, maybe I just never had this growing up or in my adult life. And so it does feel weird. There's nothing like inherently wrong with it. It just feels weird because I haven't really experienced it. But when you do it more and more and you start to realize like, oh yeah, it does feel really good to like, like have somebody celebrate with me whenever, I did something good for myself that day. So connection is just so important. It's important to get that, community, that feeling of community, to get some affirmation, from yourself and from your community. And, just keep working at it, right? Again, it's a little bit every day, and it's not going to be an overnight thing. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why overnight wouldn't work anyway. So just take it every day. We don't have to have it all figured out today, right? I know, I want it to. Trust me. Nobody wants to have things more figured out than me. Like, I always want to like have all the data, assess the whole situation, make a plan, and just be on the plan and not have to like think about anything else. That's just not how it works. It's not how it works. So we're going to take it day by day. We're going to stay focused on today. We're going to say, hey, I'm going to do my freaking level best. I'm going to plan. I'm going to have, veggies in the fridge. I'm going to meal plan for the week if I can. I'm going to do all the stuff. And I'm going to find one Facebook group today and see how it goes. Maybe that's not the group for me. So, after I'm in it a few days, then maybe I got to find another one, next week. And who knows, in a few months, maybe the first one ends up being pretty good because some new people got involved and you're really vibing with those people. It's just going to have to be a day by day thing, guys. And, but it's all going to work out if you just, stay committed to your values. You stay committed to, I want to feel really good in my body, and I really want to age well, and I really want to like preserve, as much as of my physical and mental capabilities I can. And, and I really just want to like be kind and like do well for the world. And if you just like stay committed to those values, yeah, maybe you mess up here and there, but who cares, right? You're staying committed to those values. You're finding people that also have those values, and together we're all gonna like keep getting better and better. So find your people, find some people, maybe not exactly your people, but find some people. Give them affirmation, give yourself affirmation, accept affirmation in return, and just keep plugging away at it. All right, guys, look forward to seeing you again.